When my mother went to college, she had one of those old JCPenney TVs. One of the ones where there are two knobs on the right-hand side next to the screen. One for VHF and one for UHF. My mother, being the person that she is and never throwing anything away, gave the TV to me when we moved into a house and I finally got my own room. My father's business was doing well enough that I did get a new TV soon after getting my own room. The little thing, however, became something of a unique piece. Whenever a friend came over, they were always interested by it. Where did you get it? How old is it? What's with the knobs? How do you plug a PlayStation into it? You need a special adapter hooked up to the back of the TV to two bolts, where an antenna would normally go. One day when I was about 10 and the PlayStation had gotten boring, I started fiddling with the knobs on the TV. I always got a kick out of searching for the local channels that showed the weird stuff. Outside of the city that I lived, I could catch some weird stuff. Multiple religious channels. A station that pretty much only played reruns of I Love Lucy and the Mary Tyler Moore Show. Then, of course, there was Channel 47. Channel 47 was just static. One day when I was searching through the static UHF channels, seeing if I could find anything unknown to my then 10-year-old self, I left the knob on Channel 47 when my mother called me down for dinner. The volume was almost on mute, so I didn't bother to turn the thing off when I had dinner. After I came back from dinner, the TV was still on. When I went to go turn it off, I noticed it sounded weird. I turned it up and tried to listen. The static from the blank station almost covered it up, but I swear I could hear a voice coming out of the static. A P P R O P R I A T E. Was it spelling something? Oh well. I didn't think much of it at the time and played some Final Fantasy VII before going to bed. The next day at school, however, we had a spelling quiz, something I probably should have known about if I were a better student. Can you take a guess at one of the words on the quiz? Appropriate. The static in the TV had literally spelled it out for me. When I got the score, it came back at almost exactly a 70%. As you can guess, I sprinted for the little TV in my room when I got home. The knob was still on 47, but it was off. I turned it on. How did you know I was going to have a test today? I asked the static. It didn't answer back. What else can you tell me? The static didn't change. It hissed and buzzed and didn't say anything back. Years passed, and I almost forgot about the static on Channel 47. I was in high school when I heard something in the static again. My new at the time TV from when I was 10 had been replaced with an even newer TV. The little JCPenney TV still stood next to the new TV like a sentinel. My PS2 had some framing issues when I tried to hook it up to the little TV, so I usually left it on channel 10 whenever I played something on the bigger TV. Probably like most people, I was not having a good time in high school. I wasn't really being bullied to any extent, but I was lonely. The few friends I did have had managed to find girlfriends and boyfriends. Everyone except for me, of course. After beating Final Fantasy X for the second time, I had grown to a state of boredom so profound that even a PS2 couldn't fix it. In the times where this profound boredom showed its head, I started thinking about all the things I had done when I was a child and stupid. The types of things that you think about in the middle of the night when you can't go to sleep and are still embarrassed by. That is when I remembered Channel 47. It was midnight. No one else was home. Hell, what could go wrong? I turned the big knob to Channel 47 and listened. Just static. Got any relationship advice for me? Whatever the hell is in there? I expected nothing, just like the many times I had tried to listen to it before, but nothing did happen. The static noise came down, and a buzzing voice came in. This time much clearer than before with the spelling. Lucy Goodman, it said. What? I asked the static. Either I hadn't heard it right, or it was wrong. Lucy. It buzzed again. Goodman. After this time, the normal static hiss came back up, and nothing else came from it. Lucy Goodman was a sophomore who came to our school in the middle of the year. After the initial fascination of someone new wore off, she spent a lot of time by herself. I wouldn't exactly describe her as pretty. She wasn't ugly by any stretch of the imagination, but most people wouldn't describe her as pretty. The next day at school in my biology class, we had to partner up for a project. I asked Lucy if she wanted to be my science partner. She seemed surprised at first, but smiled when I did. Her smile seemed to brighten up her face in a way that I never imagined her face could do. She was smart. Wicked smart. Funny too. We ended up doing really well in the project and kept hanging out afterward. I'm pretty sure you can guess what happened next. Two teenagers in the prime of their hormones and knowing nothing else of the world. Those years were great. We spent the entirety of high school together, and plenty of time outside of it. At the end of our senior year one night, when she was over, we were looking at college brochures. We didn't look at them for long because of the, aforementioned hormones. She told me she loved me. I told her I loved her back. She went in her car and left for home. I was happier than I had ever been. Lucy had helped me improve my grades, and it looked like I might actually be able to go to college. But something was bothering me, and for the first time in 2 years, I thought about Channel 47. I turned on the little TV and turned the knob. What should I do, Magic TV? Should I follow her or go the safe route and go to a state school? I laughed. I didn't expect an answer to this question. At this point, I had convinced myself I imagined the whole thing. But something came through the static this time. I don't know why. It didn't tell me anything useful this time. I almost wished it hadn't said anything. Maybe I could convince myself the whole thing was my overreactive imagination. At first, nothing intelligible came out. But there was something I recognized. Crying. I heard crying coming from the static. What? I said to the static. I'm sorry. It buzzed. Sorry for what? I put my face to the TV and yelled at it. Sorry for what? I'm sorry. It buzzed to me again, then faded. then only static. I found out what it was sorry for the next day. On her way home, Lucy got hit by a drunk driver. The asshole was fine, but Lucy died on impact. I didn't go to the funeral. I didn't think I could handle seeing her face the last time. I spent the day in bed, staring at the little TV. Did it cause her death? Or just predict it? I didn't care. I took the TV out back and smashed it with a sledgehammer from my dad's tool shed. There was nothing special about the TV. No ghosts or demons came flying out of the TV, and there was no weird things inside of it. It was a normal TV from the 70s, from JCPenney. It's been almost 10 years since Lucy died. I did end up going to school and got a good job afterwards. Overall, I guess the static did help me, but I'm still lonely. And I know, whether it made those things happen or just predicted them, that life isn't as free as it seems. So if you want to keep believing you have control of your life, never try to find the thing in the static on channel 47. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you want to see more, let me know in the comments below, and tell me what you thought of this narration. Make sure to follow me on Twitter for updates, and if you'd like to get early videos, shoutouts, and much more, I'd appreciate it if you check out my Patreon page. It's a place where you can help support my channel while getting awesome rewards in the process, and every pledge helps out a ton, no matter the size. So if you'd like to see all the rewards I offer and consider becoming a patron, it'd mean a ton to me if you'd click the link in the description and just check it out. And don't forget to show some love to the amazingly talented authors who make these narrations possible. Have a good night, everybody. Cheers.